Welcome to David's Ships. In this video I continue with the construction of the 1 in 350 scale Schwerer Gustav kit. To watch other videos in this build series, follow the link to the playlist in the cards above. Today's video will be mostly focused on constructing and installing the lift cars. In addition to that, there are some minor details around the top of the lift shaft that need to be installed. Essentially it's just these platforms. And then some hand railing that goes on the gun handling platform around the lift shafts. On the main support structure I'll also be installing some more hand railing and a few additional platforms and ladders. This will be yet another video of exclusively Photo-etch parts to be installed. This is not surprising since this is a primarily Photo-etch model. There are only a few pieces that are made out of resin, otherwise everything else is Photo-etch. Also, since this model is primarily one color, German grey, I will not be painting these parts before installing them on the model. I will build and install these parts unpainted, and then give the entire structure another coat of German grey. After cutting all of the parts off of the sprue, I begin construction. I'm going to start by folding the ladders. These are the exact same type of ladders in the previous video. These ladders have a very nice connection point between the hand railings and the rungs, which makes them very easy to fold with tweezers. As such, I don't bring out the Photo-etch folding tool, and I simply fold them in my hand with a pair of tweezers. If this was a type of ladder with long edges that need to be bent with the rungs sticking out, then in that case I would use the Photo-etch folding tool. The next part that I'm going to fold, which is also a very simple thing to fold, are these platforms. These platforms are installed at the base of the hinge structure for the gun, where it meets the central support structure. In this case, it's a simple matter of folding the hand railing up into position. There's not much to it. Moving on to the lift car itself, this is where the majority of the work will be done in this video. In a similar fashion to the floor of the gun handling platform, the base needs to be folded in on itself to create a thicker platform. Once folded over, I clamp the sides together with tweezers and then apply extra thin superglue to the edge and let capillary action draw the glue between the plates. Once the floor is bonded, I fold up the hand railing and A-frames into their correct position. The exact same process is then repeated for the other lift car. A beam is installed at the top of the A-frame. This provides the connection point for the rope to the elevator car. The beam itself consists of a single piece of Photo-etch that needs to be folded over onto itself. This, I think, is primarily because there is detail on both sides of the part. The sides of the beam are glued together using the same technique that I used to glue the floor together. That is, they are held together with tweezers and then extra thin superglue is applied to the edge such that capillary action can draw it between the two sides. The assembled beam is then inserted into the top of the A-frame. There are small notches at the top of the A-frame that align with small protrusions from the side of the beam. It would appear that those protrusions should slide into the provided notches. This is a bit tricky because the notches are very small, so I'm having trouble installing this part dry. So I think I'm going to have to apply some extra thick superglue to the ends of the beam just to make it a little bit tacky so that it is able to be held in place by those notches. Because without it, it's just falling down too easily. There's really not enough surface area to hold even this small beam in place. After applying a bit of super glue to one end of the beam, it does stick in place fairly easily, which is not unexpected. After all, it is glue. Sticking is what it is supposed to do. With one end stuck in its correct position, I am then able to more easily position the other end and hold it in place. Once the beam is in position, I then apply extra thin super glue to both ends, on one end to glue it in place and on the other end to reinforce the bond. I then repeat the process for the other lift car. After installing the beams and ropes onto both cars, construction of the Photo-etch parts are complete and I can move on to assembly and installation on the model. To start, I'm going to install these platforms that go near the top of the lift shafts. To install them, I apply extra thick superglue to the braces onto which they must be placed, and then I place the part on top of the glue. The fit of these platforms is very tight, tighter than I expected. If they were even fractionally smaller than they are, they would fall through and they wouldn't be wide enough to actually span this gap. But I suppose they are long enough, so you can proceed without a problem here. I would have preferred them to be just slightly longer, just to have that little bit of extra wiggle room. The only real consideration that you need to have in mind when installing these platforms is to position the notch to face away from the gun. That notch is provided for the cables that attach to the car to run through that platform. If these are installed the wrong way around, then the cable is going to interact with the platform and you'll have to bend the cables past it. So obviously you can't install it that way. After installing the platforms and then moved on to install hand railings, these rails go on the front slope of the central support structure. Once again, they're very simple rails. The only real complexity here is that they didn't provide the type of rail that has a single piece of metal at the base for you to connect them to the model. They have individual legs that you have to glue down one at a time. It's not that much more complicated, but it is a little bit more frustrating because you have to deal with each leg one at a time. If there was, in effect, a rung that ran along the entire bottom of the handrail, then you can glue that as one continuous piece of photo-etch to the base of the kit. And that's typically a lot easier. I find that's how ship models usually have their hand railings made. And that type of handrail is much more rapid to install than the ones that you have to install one leg at a time. But I suppose in this case, this isn't exactly a big model, and there's not all that much hand railing to install, so this isn't really going to be that time consuming anyway. For this type of hand railing, I find the best way to install it is to apply a small drop of extra thick superglue to each of the legs on one of the faces of it. Then apply it to the model in the appropriate orientation. And then once the side that has been stuck down has been given the opportunity to dry and being reinforced with additional glue, you can then bend the unglued side into position to ensure that it is perfectly located on the edge of the model. For the side that was not initially glued down, I hold the legs in place with tweezers and then apply extra thin superglue to the joint. For gluing parts with such small surface areas to make the connection, often it is quite helpful to accelerate the bonding process with superglue accelerator. So you'll see me using it quite frequently when installing the rails. In general, the process that I follow is apply a bit of extra thick superglue to the legs on one end of the rail, stick it onto the model, accelerate the bonding with extra thick superglue, then move on to the side without glue, hold the legs in the correct location with tweezers, apply extra thin superglue, potentially also apply extra thick superglue, accelerate the bonding if necessary, and then move on to the next leg. After installing the lower section of hand railing, I now know where the step ladders can go. Looking at the instruction manual, I can see that the step ladders must be installed as close to the edge of the railing as possible. After this ladder is installed, there should be just enough space for the upper section of hand railing that runs from the ladder all the way to the base of the hinge for the gun. To install these ladders, I use the same process as I used to install the ladders on the rear slope of the structure. That is, I apply a very small amount of extra thick superglue to the back of the ladder, and then I place it on the model to tack it in place. And then once very lightly tacked in place, I reinforce the bond with extra thin superglue that I apply with a wire. Since symmetry is important in this area of the model, because both ladders will be visible from either side, I install the ladders one after the other to ensure that they are in alignment. After installing the ladders, the upper section of hand railing and its platform can be installed. Once again, they haven't provided any indicators really of where this platform should go. The extent to which it should stick out from the structure is in effect dictated by the hand railing. The hand railing will definitely go on the edge. So that gives an indication of how far out this platform should stick. But it's not clear how close to the base of the hinge the platform should sit. But I don't think that gap matters all that much. There isn't actually anything that interacts with the part of the platform that sticks out from the side of the model. So once again, what I'm going to prioritize when installing this part is symmetry. So symmetry in two areas. Firstly, I want the gaps between the hand railing and the ladder on either side of the ladder to be equal. And then I also want the location of the platforms to also be symmetrical with each other, so that when the model is viewed from above, the platforms don't look odd or out of alignment. I initially glue the platforms down using a small drop of extra thick superglue, Once the platform is reasonably tacked in place, I reinforce the bond by using extra thin superglue applied to the underneath of the platform. Next, I'll fold the ladders that run from the lower platform to the upper platform. These are the type of ladders that require the hand railing to be folded up along the legs of the ladder. This is the type of ladder that is a bit more risky to fold because you can push the leg out of alignment and then cause all the rungs to go squiff. So for this type of ladder, I choose to use the Photo-etch folding tool just to make sure that everything stays nicely aligned and square. With the Photo-etch folding tool, this is a quick and easy task. Once again, I find myself with a part that has an extremely narrow tolerance. These parts could not be any shorter. If they were any shorter, they would not be tall enough to reach the upper platform. Fortunately though, they are just tall enough. So I apply extra thick superglue to the upper rung of the ladder and then place it on the upper edge of the platform. And then maneuver the ladder to ensure that it is in its correct orientation, and then apply extra thin superglue to secure it in place. I then repeat the process on the other side. And now for the main event, so to speak, the installation of the lift cars. The first thing I need to do is to decide on the length for the ropes. I'm not overly concerned about the length. I'm quite happy with the car sitting pretty much anywhere in the shaft. And I also don't really care if the cars are at the same level. I think it's fine for them to be at different levels, even quite substantially at different levels. I don't think that's going to detract from anything. It just looks like they've been stopped at some random point in the hoist. So I'm just going to cut the ropes so that they sit roughly in the middle of the rails. Then I'll insert the car between the rails and lift it up such that the top of the ropes touch the bottom of the platform that the motor sits on top of. And now I encounter my first problem. The car is wider than the gap between the rails. And while this is okay at the base where the rails can be slightly bowed out and then conform to the sides of the car, this is not possible near the center of the structure because that's where the rails run through the gun platform, and those are very securely stuck in a specific width. It won't be possible to spread them further apart. So I'm going to have to take another look at this car and try and make it narrower. It seems as though the widest point is the beam, which means it is at least possible for me to make that a bit narrower. But this is still quite awkward to work with. And if I try and force it in this state, I'm just going to damage things. So I need to stop with this and think about it. But before I do that, before I try and change anything, let me check with the other car and see if it fits in its set of rails better. The other car is a bit better. It does actually fit in between its rails, but it's still a very tight fit. It could be better, but at least it's acceptable. On the right side of the model, it's just far too tight. I'm definitely going to have to address that one. But this one on the left side is probably good enough. So considering that it is in a good enough position, I think I will just glue it in place and make sure that I don't knock it out of position or have to try and reposition it again. It is good enough. So yeah, I think it's a good idea to glue it down now. From this angle, you can see that the ropes don't quite reach up to the platform at the top. There's about a 1 millimeter gap between the top of the ropes and the bottom of the platform. And at this point, it's quite difficult for me to adjust the position of the car. And in fact, even if I could, it's very difficult to position the car so precisely that the tops of the rope touch the bottom of that platform. So I'm going to have to think a bit about how I'm going to close that gap. I do have a few ideas, but I'll need to think about exactly how I'm going to do that. So now to try and do something about this other car, I just need to make it fractionally narrow at the top, and then I think I'll be able to get it in place like I did with the one on the left of the model. The beam was fairly easy to break off from the top of the A-frame. After removing excess superglue, I then repositioned the protrusion into the notch, perhaps doing it slightly better this time and making the overall width at the top by the beam just slightly narrower. The car is now able to fit more easily between the rails, and I'm able to push it up quite high, but once again there is still a small gap between the top of the ropes and the bottom of the platform that the motor sits on. So whatever I do on the right of the kit to close that gap, I will need to repeat on the left. I'll probably end up putting a block of Photo-etch there just to close up the gap and to give the top of the rope some support, something for them to be glued to in effect. And if the block is maybe just 1 or 1.5, maybe 2 millimeters tall, I don't think it's something that's going to be very visible unless you look up from underneath to try and see that part of the model. I think that's probably going to be the best way to go about it. And I think it'll be quite easy to install. During the handling of these cars, I did knock the rails off of the sides of them. So the last step in the installation is just to reinstall those hand railings. It is quite interesting that the left and right cars have slightly different hand railings. I wonder what the reason for that is. I wonder why they aren't just the same. It's quite odd to me. If anybody has any idea as to why they don't look the same, please let me know in the comments below. Well, I'm glad that's done. That was more difficult than it needed to be. And it ended up taking quite a long time to get them into position. Now that the lift car is installed, I'm going to complete the Photo-etch in this area of the model by installing the last set of handrails. These handrails are much like all the other ones. They don't have a long run that runs along the base. They have individual posts that need to be glued down. But as with the other handrails, they are very short and are not that complicated to install. In fact, these ones are probably a bit easier because of the way they are folded up. They fold up into a shape such that they are able to stand up on their own without any glue. And that just makes it a little bit easier to position them and then handle them before the glue has properly set. To install these hand railings, I apply glue to the legs on one side, and then I put the hand railing into position. Once that glue has dried, I then maneuver the other edges into their correct locations and use extra thin super glue to glue down those legs. I then repeat the process on the other side of the model to install the final set of hand railings. With that, we come to the end of the video. In the next video, I will complete the construction of the kit and have the part prepared and ready for the application of decals. If you would like to support this channel or see how this model looks when it is completed, then please subscribe. Thanks for watching. Cheers.